This is Muckbones, my Goblin-Locked Ironman, a simple goblin of the Mistland forests with no family or tribe to his name. On this journey, he will set out to make a name for his kin and become a champion of Gielinor. Only the war god Bandos truly knows what's in store for him in the times to come. So join me in exploring the world through the eyes of a simple goblin, born in the mud, with only his bones to his name. Before we get into things, I should explain what exactly a Goblin-Locked Ironman account even is. To put it simply, it's a roleplay account where I try to play how I'd imagine a goblin hero would interact with the world of Gielinor. As far as rules go, there really is only a few, and I'm playing with these rules fast and loose, always serving to have fun over limiting my account. The roleplay rules are as follows. Wear a goblin mask as much as possible. There will be times where I accidentally remove the mask or equip a different head slot item momentarily for a quest, or there will be an event that requires me to remove it. My account isn't ruined because of this. I'll simply put the mask back on whenever I can, and to keep up with the immersion with the story, you'll probably never see this if it does happen. Just know I'm wearing this mask for 99.9% of my playtime. Second rule is to keep my skin color green. It's slightly off color from my mask, and you have no idea how much that bothers me, but I'm making it headcanon that my goblin has some sort of skin condition. As far as I know, I'll never have to change this for any gameplay reason, so it's not an issue. Third rule is have a lore-accurate roleplay name. Muckbones is what I landed on. Rolls off the tongue, right? Goblin naming conventions in old-school RuneScape seem to be something nasty or foul, followed by a body part. I thought this name was fitting, although I did contemplate making my name Goblin D's Nuts. Fourth rule, use goblin-themed weapons and gear. This is the main rule that is subject to change, at my own discretion for progress and fun. For the most part, I'll be limiting myself to mainly gear I personally think fits the goblin aesthetic. Obvious items are things such as spears, pole arms, halberds, square shields, and bludgeoning-style weapons like hammers and mauls. But ultimately, if I can't complete the content with these limited items, I'll expand my gear outwards from there with lore or story explanations. One of my good friends put it nicely when I told him about this account. He said that at the end of the day, a goblin would probably use anything he killed or looted off someone else if he was smart or strong enough to do it, and I agree. I intend to pursue that sort of philosophy with my own gear progression. And the final rule and the main driving force of this account is to carry around the basic goblin loot drop table. These items serve to represent story arcs for Muckbones. Each item will tell an individual story and goal, and after completing the designated story arc for a particular item, I can release it from my inventory. As of now, these items are the ones I have a clear story arc and goal for, and these items are the ones I'm still brainstorming and thinking of a unique journey for. If any of you have ideas for fun story arcs or goals related to these items, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. And that's about it for the rules and goals for this Goblin-Locked role-playing Ironman account. I had toyed around with additional rules that restricted the account further, such as limiting access to shops until I earned a certain level of reputation as a goblin, in order to be considered trustworthy to trade with, but ultimately none of what I came up with felt very natural, fun, or coherent. It just made things unnecessarily tedious and boring. And there are plenty of other accounts out there already doing shop and item restrictions better than I could. Ultimately, I felt any map, shop, item, or inventory restrictions beyond what I've already listed just muddled the vision I had for this account rather than make it more concise or interesting. One further disclaimer, because I've observed and been a part of this community for nearly 20 years now, I already suspect some of you will say something along the lines of, so this is just a regular Ironman account that doesn't use a head slot? And yes, you are technically right. And what I'd say in response to that is you should just try to experience some whimsy every once in a while. This might not be the video for you if you're looking for extreme rules and challenges. The goal of this account isn't to lock myself to a rigid set of tiles or standards or chunks or what be it for most other RuneScape series. It is, however, trying to attempt to tell a fun story and pursue a more unique path in this game via roleplay. So with all that cleared up, let's dive into the journey. The days were dark for Muckbones in his youth. Tragedy and pain beset him and his mother, the only kin he had left, in their harsh and unforgiving trek across Gielinor as they searched for a new tribe. One night, as they got ready for rest by a makeshift campfire, a burrowing monstrosity lashed out from the wooded darkness, a hulking mass of vile evil, with tusks as sour as its breath. It charged into the camp for a killing blow on the unsuspecting mother and son, but a glimmer of hope appeared as fate intervened. Spria, the legendary local slayer master of Draenor village, stepped into action and struck down the sour hog she had been tracking for many nights now, but it was little too late. Mukbones was unscathed, his mother shielding him from a death blow with her own body, a final act of love. With her last bit of life, she handed her son their family heirloom, an ancient brass necklace. "This will grant you strength," slipped from her lips with her last breath. Spria took pity on Mukbones, deciding to bring him under her guidance. Recognizing a burning potential in this young goblin of the dark forest, she decided to raise him in the stead of his deceased mother and train him in the ways of survival and combat. In between his training with the Slayer Master, he worked in the mines for the cave goblins, but they were not his tribe. He was merely an outcast to them. He worked for small scraps of gold and food. As the nights came, he would retreat back to the surface and take refuge in a nearby abandoned barn, so close to where his mother's life was lost. He often gazed out over the farmlands, hoping for strength and guidance as he clutched at her brass necklace. Muckbones spent many cold nights honing his skills, living among monsters of all forms, hiding in plain sight among his enemies. He spent early mornings sneaking about, listening and learning through cracked windows and old wooden doors at the mysterious wizard's tower just to the south, gaining magic knowledge no goblin had dared to comprehend before. Through perseverance and sheer willpower, Muckbones slowly gained the grit and skill necessary to venture off past his homeland forest and out into the vast world to find fortune and glory. For every 10 treasures he discovered, he gained a newfound level of agility. He stole riches from Varlamore, traveled far and wide, eventually learning the magic arts of teleportation, digging up treasures and plundering riches in far-off lands. He killed and thieved all in his way, always under hood and cloak. He was a spiteful goblin, lashing out at the cruel world he felt rejected and cursed him. All of his anger and greed left him feeling empty. He was amassing wealth, but something deep in his soul was missing. One day, after finding a lead on another stash of riches hidden by ham thugs, Muckbones stumbled into finding his true purpose. A revelation came to him. Seemingly a sign from Bandos himself, the god's words echoed out in his mind as Muckbones dug within the Remington mines. "Be proud of your heritage. Show your face to the world. Let the ignorant and fearful minds tremble in the sight of your true form. Crush all that stand in your way. Command the goblins and become a true champion, my young pupil." Within this buried treasure chest, a single hand mirror was revealed, reflecting the half-hidden face of a goblin back at himself. And with that, Muckbones removed his hood and cloak of shame, finally standing proud in his newfound confidence, ready to conquer all in his way on his quest to become a champion of Bandos. Alright, after 6 days of in-game time doing easy clue scrolls off the rip on my fresh Ironman, these are the stats I set myself up with, in anticipation of finally getting the Goblin Mask to start my journey. I really couldn't have asked for a better stat spread. I kept everything about as low as possible in order to obtain the mask in a timely manner. Almost everything here was in service of doing easy clues as efficiently as possible without diving into much of any other content. I got the base 20 combat stats to wield the weapons and armor needed for easy clues. All my thieving came from ham guards and Varlamar citizens to obtain jewelry requirements. I opted to get the jewelry via thieving citizens instead of crafting to keep things more pure. Mining and range levels are where they're at to complete the Dorgeshan quest line, which seemed like an obvious quest to have unlocked as a goblin. Magic levels are from many hours of teleporting around the world trying to complete easy clues as fast as possible as well. And any other combat stuff I needed for quests, I just used magic for that. I allowed myself to gain levels in agility. I gained 1 level in agility for every 10 clues I completed as a little, treat to myself. I thought that was a good representation of Muckbones actually running around in the world. So that's where the 29 agility came from. Just after 290 easy clues, I got the mask as my 100th collection log item. You couldn't ask for a more storybook opening for this sort of account. I know some of you all are going to be a little ass pain that I didn't show 140 hours of me doing easy clues right off the rip, but that's kind of boring as hell showing all that footage, so I'll just post here the clue scroll log and the Hamguard log, so all you guys out there can pause the video now and take a look at this stuff if you're interested in all the loot I got while trying to chase for the Goblin Mask. There are a few pieces of goblin literature we should go over before we really get into things, and that starts with the Goblin Symbol Book, an important piece of history for the goblin race. We'll go over the tribes here. So there's and excuse my pronunciation, I don't know how to say all of these, but Thorobashun, Goblins of the Hills, Garagorashun, Goblins of the Sea, Rekashun, Goblins of the North, Ekoleshun, Goblins of the East, Idthun, Goblins of the South, Naragoshan, Goblins of the West, Dogkishun, Goblins of the Fierce Blades, Huzamagarb, Live Flesh Eaters of the Chaos God, Saragorgak, Foot Soldiers of Holy Wrath, Dorgeshan, everyone's familiar with this, Goblins of the Strong Spears, the Cave Goblins, Horogothgar, Eaters of Man-Flesh, and Yerkol-Goth, the Flatulent. But it is missing one, my new tribe that I'm starting today. It is the Gunseshun tribe. And I really encourage all of you watching to please join my tribe. I am looking for new members. All that messing around aside, the item we will be trying to unlock from our inventory today, our first story arc, is unlocking the Goblin book slot. And, I'll be following the several commandments as closely as I can as well. Following in the big high war god steps as closely as possible. But we can see here a prophecy at the end. Today I cannot lead you, but someday I will send a new commander to lead you. Under new commander, goblins will conquer all of Gielinor, every race and every god. And this is the narrative arc we're going for today. How will I become the new goblin commander? Well, by becoming a goblin champion. In order to unlock this goblin book slot, I will get the champion's cape as my very first goal on this account. And so I guess we just have to start killing goblins. Let's go do it. Obtaining one of the most prestigious symbols of lordship over all others in the world of Gielinor wasn't going to be a simple task. I first had to get 32 quest points for champion scrolls to even drop off the creatures that stood in between Muckbones and his rightful title. So I helped a small boy retrieve his toy from an evil witch, and slayed a local demon from rising up in Varrock, among a few other simple free-to-play quests that I'd already knocked out. And then I was off to the races, killing my own kin until they recognized my power and bowed down to me. Killing thousands of low-level mobs turned out to be a great way to get the ball rolling. Aside from gaining tons of early ranged and hit point levels, all these monsters dropped valuable items like ensouled heads and herbs for my eventual herblore grind. So even after thousands of kills, I still felt like I was making good progress and stacking up my bank for other skills along the way. I knew my current gear would be fine for goblins or imps, but I could see the slog of tens of thousands of other monsters I was going to have to defeat just on the horizon. The accuracy amulet I was currently using wasn't going to cut it for long, and I already had the magic levels and jewelry to make an amulet of power, so that was the first of a few upgrades I needed to continue my bloodshed. It pained me to kill my brethren, but it had to be done. Nearly 4,000 kills in, and I received my very first champion scroll. The first step in achieving greatness. An unfortunate reality about this nearly 500-hour grind is that a lot of my playtime was done on mobile because I'm away from my home PC quite a bit. Fortunately, I caught a lot of screenshots of important drops, but lots of moment-to-moment gameplay during the grind is not available. But then again, there isn't much to see besides Muckbones slaughtering thousands of low-level NPCs. So I was off to kill Implings, farming them just south of Arty with the same bone crossbow setup as the Goblin Scroll. This was one of the grinds I was more worried about because imps will flee and teleport away as you try to kill them, and they are just generally not clustered together as well as other NPCs I would need to farm later on. Another mistake I learned from as this series progressed is that apparently the loot tracker doesn't hold onto the data of every mob you have ever killed. I went back to try to find my exact drop tables for some of these grinds and I couldn't recover the information, at least on the mobile app. So some of these kills are estimations. Not to make too many excuses, but I'm still new to video editing and organizing all my files. It's actually a miracle I have sorted out the hundreds of hours of gameplay and screenshots I do have. I've been contemplating maybe doing shorter form updates for future episodes just so it's easier to structure these videos out as I progress in the future. But if I recall correctly, I finally got the Imp Champion scroll just after another 4,000 kills. Muckbones was on a lucky streak. Both the Goblin and Imp scrolls dropped under the 1 in 5,000 drop chance rarity. And then when I was starting to think I was blessed by Bandos himself, my fortunes were granted even further. Not even 20 minutes later, as I was transitioning to killing skeletons in the Edgeville dungeon, I got the Skeleton Champion scroll within 11 kills. I couldn't believe it. Fate was on Muckbone's side. We couldn't be stopped in our pursuit for the title of champion. I quickly realized as I entered the zombie scroll grind within the same dungeon that I could use a few more gear upgrades. When you're killing hundreds of creatures, there is a lot of downtime to browse the wiki to find new, easily obtainable armor. I learned I could get green d'hide chaps from these guards on the castle walls in Berthorpe, and then soon after I felt the need to finally do a series of quests to get my Ava's accumulator, so I wasn't wasting all my bone bolts. I normally aim to do voiceovers for my footage, but here's a sneak peek of how I normally commentate my journey as I'm questing. This shit's been miserable. I've been here for fucking 10 minutes, it feels like, at least, just fucking flinching this guy. It's not really flinching, he just has such a slow attack speed. But my god, dude, I can't hit for shit. I should have done waterfall quest before this. This is just like taking for fucking ever.
They call me Muckbones. Just Muckbones. So if you're not rich in money, how am I going to get paid? Assuming I agree to help you with whatever it is you want. I suppose I could do with letting my hair down a little. Alright, I'm in. So, whose party are we going to?
About to finish this up. This has been fucking quite an adventure in the making to just get this goddamn backpack. Had to do like 10 different quests really to just get the required shit I need. Talk to me. Translate. The fuck, bro? Combine hard leather and polished buttons. Boom, we got it. Huh? Trade? Talk? Boom. Oh my god. Huge. We take it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright. We're going back to grinding immediately because this is the upgrade I needed. But for now, we're chilling for the rest of the night with my new backpack. It's gonna save me so many arrows I've been spending. I mean, I spent probably 100,000 GP just wasted arrows on the ground. And this should get me the next few champion scrolls I'll need. Finally got the zombie champion scroll, so we're just hopping right into the next grind here. Hobgoblins now. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm not much of a natural commentator. Well, of course I didn't record it because I've been killing them for a while now and never know when it's going to drop, and I don't want to sort through all the footage, but hey, I got the Hobgoblin champion scroll, and I'm officially halfway to becoming a champion. Let's look at the time on the account. 12 days of, I've been doing some random skilling. Sailing is tomorrow, so was trying to get my construction up a little. I'm not probably going to be messing with sailing for the first few weeks. Let them iron out the bugs before I risk my hardcore status sailing, but it's just nice to start working on some of these things. And we're almost 1K total level 2, so we're working there slowly, but for now we're just doing the champion grind. So we're here going straight to the ghouls now after getting the hobgoblin scroll, so I think they're right here, and we will be here for the next few days, I'm sure. Oh wow, they're level 42. This is gonna be a while. Pretty sure. Yeah. Hopefully I can safe spot these guys, because I'm sure they deal quite a bit of damage. Oh. Alright. Well, I'll let you guys know how it goes. I just have to apologize to you guys. I am a shit content creator, and I do not have the video footage for the ghoul scroll drop. Not much to see on the loot tracker because ghouls don't drop anything but bones. So, you know, got the scroll after I think 1,500 kills, and then here's the hill giant and hobgoblin drop tables. Just if you guys are curious about that. And wow, what do you know? There's the Joger champion scroll, and also the lesser demon champion scroll. Yeah, I got them both relatively easily. Lesser demons was like 1,500 between mobile and PC, and the Joger one was like 4,000 kills. So I was ahead on both of those, but really, this is nothing compared to the final grind I had to face. For the majority of this grind, for all of the champion scrolls, this has been the gear setup I've been using. I've killed tens of thousands of creatures with a bone crossbow and had level 85 range heading into the final grind for the champion cape, Earth Warriors. It's never been part of the challenge to keep my hardcore status on this account, but I had some narrative arcs in mind for the future, using my red helmet as a sort of dramatic foil for storytelling in later episodes. So going into the wilderness for what could be potentially dozens of hours, staying on high alert to teleport away from potential PKers, was something I was dreading to take on. For most other grinds, I could tune out and watch a show while I would safe spot my kills, but not for the Earth Warriors. I had to be locked in. But the time to kill on Earth Warriors with a bone crossbow was painfully slow, even at 85 ranged. It was taking nearly 30 seconds a kill, and so I procrastinated, the thing I'm best at. The Earth Warrior scroll looming over my head like a dark cloud while I messed around with other tasks. I had fun learning how to 3-tick mine granite. This was a lot of fun to do. I spent probably a whole day just messing around here at the granite mine. I can't believe it. Dude, this is one of my favorite pets, and I got it. This has been unreal. The pool is hot right now. It's so true. These guys are right. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to go for tiny temport. Cause look at this. These three guys got it, right? It's only like a minute ago. I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna try. I got 30 rewards in the pool. Let's go for it. Boom. So yeah, I had some fun messing around at Temperos as well and Winter Todd. You might notice that in these clips I don't have the hammer or the brass necklace in my inventory, but I am currently holding a hammer in my left hand and have the brass necklace equipped. So that's kind of a workaround to give me a little bit more space when I'm skilling, while still staying true to like keeping those items on me. You'll also see in my bank here those 9 scrolls just sitting in my bank. I really have been just staring at these scrolls for, a month or two, just dreading having to do the challenge. And there was a quick glimpse there of the hammer tab that I had started to work on as well. I'm just so stoked about this pet. One of the coolest pets in the game, in my opinion. I knocked out the Heart of Darkness quest and finally got the Ice Hammers after about 1,000 Frost Naga kills, and decided to do some bossing for a while as well. The new game plan was to get base 80 attack, strength, and defense, and hopefully spoon enough moon keys from woodcutting in Varlamore and Frost Naga kills to get a set of dragon legs from the moon chest at a 1 in 10 drop rate to help me tank Earth Warriors. So this is what I've been doing. I tried to get a nice little fancy fit here and have just been bossing. Amoxie has been a great early game boss to do alongside Obor because she drops blessed bone shards for prayer, which has been my main source of prayer XP after cashing in all my ensouled heads. And she drops a lot of rune items to High Alk. In the process of killing Amoxie and Frost Naga, I also have an essentially unlimited supply of frozen tears to teleport around Varlamore whenever I want. You'll see towards the end of this kill that essentially the gameplay loop I've been doing is after getting a single kill, I'm pretty low on prayer. So I'll teleport to the temple outside, and then I'll run up and use the altar to recharge my prayer, and then I'll just go back, run back over, and do another boss loop over again. So it's actually not that bad of a rotation. I don't need any prayer pots for this. And yeah, it ended up being a pretty relaxing grind, despite, still stalling all this time. I really knew I needed to take on these Earth Warriors, but I just felt I'd be much more comfortable if I was doing a melee setup instead of range setup, and having these hammers and the dragon legs on the horizon to tank Earth Warriors just seemed like a much more fun way to approach the final champion scroll grind. On my 4th or 5th moon chest, I got the dragon legs, and here I am kind of showing off to the clan leader, Cherry Grove. Just having a good time. I was here cutting trees, and I finally got a toothed half and decided to head over and got the dragon legs. So really there was no more time to procrastinate. It was time to take on the Earth Warriors with my new melee setup. Just wanted to show you guys a quick end of year recap as well. I got an email from Jagex. I got some of the yearly stats here. So 859 teleports casted, mostly due to easy clues. 37 quests completed, 11 combat achievements, 9 mil worth of unique drops. That's mostly from easy clues. The big number here is the 27,000 monsters killed, almost all during the champion scroll grind, and that's not even including the Earth Warriors. This was a end of year recap, and I had the Earth Warriors still by the end of the year to take care of, and nearly 1 million damage dealt to NPCs and 16,000 damage taken from NPCs while still keeping the hardcore status alive, and 4,000 logs chopped, 251 ores mined. So yeah, just thought it was interesting. Thought I'd show you guys that.
Let's give this strange icon to the doucher. This is what he was looking for. And let's see what this does. This isn't a quest. We never officially accepted any sort of quest, so this, I don't know what this is gonna do, but he wanted it, so let's give it to him. I'm pretty relieved. I had no idea how this was gonna go, but it looks like, I mean, it depends on the drop rates of these. We haven't gotten any out of our 2 runs, but it looks like we might actually be able to get all this cool crap. Look at this stuff. Look at the freaking flail.
4,400 or something like that.
We got a staff. Maybe it's an actual like magic staff. We got a crossbow, double hammers. I've seen people use this. The war spear. Oh my god, dude. I know you can't tell it in my voice because, you know, monotone, but I'm actually quite excited right now. I'm ready to farm the crap out of this. I love how it's been a year since I've started this, and this is like my first taste of endgame.
Let's fucking go, dude. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god, I can do it. This looks so fucking sick. Oh my god, dude. Thank you. Finally, dude. Woo! I mean, I'm so blessed, honestly. The drop rates have been totally fine. Holy shit. It is true. The drop rates were all great for every single kill. None of them were above the 5,000 kills. I got all of them below 5,000 kills. So really can't complain about this grind at all. Like, it could have been much, much worse. But yeah, finally have all 10, and now it's time to take on the champions and get my champion's cape. I finally did it. After hundreds of hours, I got the Champion's Cape. I really couldn't be more excited for this. This is one of the coolest things I've done in this game, and I'm really glad I stuck through it. And I just want to thank you all for being on this journey with me. It was really, really fun to roleplay as this Goblin character. I love this character so much. And I feel like this is just the first step in a great journey. And yeah, I just thank you all at the bottom of my heart. I'm just trying on some different fashion here with my cape. I've been in the bank for, 30 minutes now, just looking at all of the different gear I have and trying out everything and seeing how I look. Just been staring at my character. But yeah, I think it's about time we release the first item from our inventory. So with now earning the Champion's Cape, the Goblin Book is now released from my inventory. My first item gone.